This is Wilson Morales from Black Women TV talking to Amin Joseph, the dearly departed Jerome Saint, but he's back because he just finished directing his first episode on the series as we're getting ready to close out the sixth and final season. How are you?
I'm amazing, man. What up? Good to see you.
Man, when that episode came out and I saw where it was going, I had to cheat and call my people that know Snowfall people deep and go, wait a minute. At first I was like, don't let Louis go out like this. Yeah, but then when it turned out to be your character, I was like, no, not my nigga Rome. Oh. But hey, you did one hell of a job, and you're back. You're directing. If I'm right, are you the first character from the? Are you the first actor character from the show that's directing an episode?
First and only. Yes, sir.
You know, and I looked at your credits. This is the first one you've directed in a long time. So, what
Yeah.
was that feeling like in terms of getting the gig to direct an episode?
What was it like? I mean, I definitely had to make myself approved, like I started I started in season 3. I shadowed twice in season. No, I'm sorry. I shadowed in season 5, and then I shadowed once in season 6. And there also was a directing program that Tommy Shlamy, one of our EPs, put together for me, that I went through with him as well. So there was another first-time director that was able to direct this season as well, Jay Christian Holmes. And her and I were in the same class together, but they made sure that we were prepared, and I feel like, measure 1,000 times, cut once. All the preparation, it helps. It also helps that I'm an actor and I've been on the show for 6-7 seasons, so I know a lot of the dreams deferred, and I know a lot of the inner passions of the artists that I work with and what they want to relay that haven't been necessarily shown in the series.
Mm-hmm. Was it a little bit easier knowing that you're not in front of the camera, but you're behind it? Because sometimes it's not always easy when you've got an actor directing himself.
Yeah, I mean, if that were the case, I would have dealt with it, but I feel like the producers and everyone that was just making sure that they were supporting me knew that that would be an added responsibility. So in this season where we knew that Jerome would meet his demise, it only made sense that they push my episode out so that I would be able to focus just on that. What that actually happened, that ended up doing is giving me an episode that was right in the crescendo, right in the climax of things, which I'm really happy that I was able to get the type of script and material to be able to turn out an episode.
So take me back a minute. So how long ago did you know you were going to direct an episode? So you knew it was going to be after Jerome's death?
Yeah, I mean, I knew in season 5 that I would meet my demise in season 6. And then I knew also that I would get the opportunity to direct in season 6. So it was just about making the calendar work. They wasn't going to push out it wasn't as though I couldn't have directed an episode that I was in. It was just that would be the smartest way to go about it. They wanted to give me that opportunity. And if I died early enough, it would give me that opportunity. Right.
Now, with this particular episode, um, you're dealing with a lot of emotions from the character's perspective. Everybody's just finding out that Jerome didn't make it. So we have to see the emotions coming from not only Louis as she's coming back home, but we're also seeing the emotion from Jerome's sister, Franklin's mom, and how it affects everybody else around it. So for you coming in, was it ever emotional, knowing even though you're doing a job, but to capture that emotion as one, you're no longer a scene partner for Angela, but you're directing her now in these particular scenes as well as the rest of the cast.
Yeah, I mean, not really. It was organic. I've always been I'm a vocal actor and artist. I'm a collaborator. So I would assume for most of my cast is like, oh, he been directing. He been, he's we, if there's an, I come with a certain amount of energy. It's just, so yeah, I'm the guy that if we do a take of something and I'll go, yo, that sucks. Let's I don't know what we doing today, but we ain't doing it. And let's
Now, from
get
what I saw, it had been a while since you last directed, at least according to IMDb. So it wasn't like this is your first time. It was like riding a bike. Was there any muscle memory that came back? As you started to get back behind the scene.
yeah, not really. I feel like IMDb is indicative of a resume, right? But the way we stay primed for opportunities is what are we doing on our off time, and I'm all about what I'm doing in my off time as an actor and as a director, as a producer. So I'm always producing things and directing and acting. That's just who I am. So no, I'm primed for the opportunities that I get. And I feel like that's what, that's self-evident in the type of the episode that I delivered.
Mhm.
It's in there. There's thought, there's skill, there's storytelling, there's enchantment, there's pace, there's we can keep going. Like that's what I do, and that's why I was so happy to get this opportunity to do it on this level with this type of crew, with this type of cast that I know. It just puts me in the bonus.
Mhm. And so, take me back. Obviously, it's been a lot of your background that people are going to be familiar with, even though you've done other work outside of Snowfall, is going to be this particular role. I saw it was trending the minute it happened. It was, damn unk, because people related to you, people related to this character. We don't like to see these characters that we like and admire go out like that. But, talk to me about the time just playing Jerome. What were the highlights of playing this character and working along with the cast that you have?
Yeah, I mean, for the last 6 7 years I've been working with this cast, and I've been entrenched in this character, and it's been a joy to play this character. I made it fun. Not all of the time was the storyline running through Jerome. A lot of times I was very much supporting and had to take time to figure out exactly how I could be the best support, whether that would be comic relief or whether that would be an enforcer, whether that would be um, enraged uncle going out for revenge. I've had there's been different versions of Jerome, or the funny guy that would do commercials or own Jam and Jerome's. I've had a few iterations in my quest to make him more of a three-dimensional person, and I think that in this final season, I think actually in the end of season 5, I was able to accomplish what I feel like is a sentient taking the AI stuff right now, like that I felt like he was sentient, that he realized that he was self-aware enough to realize that he had PTSD and that he needed to change course. And to me, that is character development. And at that point, good writing is that no, we're going to sink you right back into that world. And your uncle, I mean, your nephew is going to pull a gun on you, and your wife is going to get pulled back into a power struggle, and you will not go on a honeymoon. You will not be able to be entrenched back into your community and do good things. You're going to be put. You're going to be pitted against your own interests,
Mhm.
and you're going to spiral. And so I'm happy to be able to deal. I'm happy to be able to deal with those odds in a final season and tell a cautionary tale.
Now, the fan in me is going to ask this question. Jerome's going in there to save Louis. Sometimes it can be a little hothead when he's not thinking. He can't come with a bulletproof vest, you know,
When was we gonna go get the vest?
for all that they do, you
Oh,
know.
so wait. So what people? I love the fans. So you telling me that? Do you know how many? Do you know how many parents run into a burning building? I know this is kind of morbid.
Nah,
But
but you still got Buckley. Like, no, he couldn't be found.
true,
You couldn't be found, but like, yo,
I
you
called him. I
know,
called him. I think that was the whole point. That this was that's the whole point of a tragic, your tragic flaw. If your tragic flaw is that you're impulsive, then this is a perfect situation for Unc. I think the more important questions you should ask is the person that led them to Louis in the first place, and that calls Unc to let him know that he could go save Louis. Why didn't that person have bulletproof vests?
we can
Now
go
you
back.
might be
You
more.
know, it's
Now
kind
you
of funny.
might get to the more sinister nature of my nephew.
I'm walking in the streets yesterday, and I saw these guys. It was a warm weather, so they're outside talking. And how like you can hear mid conversation, either people are talking basketball, whatever. They were actually talking Snowfall, which is funny because then I started walking slowly because I wanted to hear part of that conversation.
He was
You
ear
know,
hustling.
you hear, in the barbershop, you hear people talk about basketball and so forth. But here, this is in the streets, and I saw a couple of cats talking about Snowfall, and I'm like, now, granted, they don't know who I am, they don't know what I do, and I'm just walking slowly now because I want to get tidbits of the conversation to see if maybe do I join in, because like it's that banter, which is the greatness of the show. That it's a weekly show that people are going to be wondering every Wednesday up or leading up to the following week, where are we going? We got
Yeah,
one more episode to go, two more episodes to go. And you're like, where are we going? What's happening? And so forth. For you, obviously, we talked last year when you had the baseball movie, and which shows you can do different things. Where do you go from here? Like whenever I see an actor directing an episode, I hope to see that person do more. Is this something you'd like to do more of in terms of directing, whether it be an episode or a movie or any other project?
yeah. I mean, I think that's self-evident. Wilson. You know me for a while. I don't. I'm nothing about me is not already, been baked in. I feel like I'm a dynamic actor. I'm a force, and I think I'm the same force as a director and a producer. And I'll continue working. It's oftentimes after things like this, people are like, "Oh, what are you doing next?" And I mean, like you said, check IMDb. I'm always doing something, but more importantly, is happily ever after. Is that I was able to do something here that was intentional, and I feel like I left something for fans. I feel like we completed the legacy of the great John Singleton, and we
Mhm.
left something. We left a nice bound volume for FX to live in their catalog. We did that, and we're proud of that work that I did along with my cast and my crew and the other creatives. And next, what's next is next, but this is now. And right now, you got 2 more episodes of some of the best television.
And before I let you go, I want you to comment on what your best memory was working with John Singleton before he passed away.
I always love getting a bottle of wine and going on John's yacht and hearing him tell me stories of of past failures and past victories and being inspiring about you're on the water and he's just and so inspiring about filmmaking, so enchanted, speaking so much positivity into my own career and the career of other people that we were working with. That'll always be with me.
Mhm. Amen. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Obviously, we got two more episodes to go. I'm
Yeah.
always the guy as part of the press that goes, send me the link right now. I can't be watching it with everybody else. I need to know in advance. You know how music lovers want to get the CD before it comes out to the public, or sneaker lovers want to be out there till 3 in the morning to get those kicks. I need to know those episodes early.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be calling you. Just like, let me know what happens. But I know you're going to be talking throughout the whole time, promoting the fact that you're back in the directing world. Congratulations on the gig. Let's see more of it behind the scenes. I'm sure I'll talk to you again once you're back on the screen doing something else. Have yourself a great day, sir.
Thank you, man.